are 2 races left in the round of 8. The Cup Series heads to Homestead-Miami Speedway this weekend, followed by Martinsville Speedway next weekend. So let's talk who's getting into the Championship 4. Welcome to NASCAR America. I'm Coon alongside Parker Kligerman and Dustin Long. So Kyle Larson has locked himself into the Championship 4. That leaves 3 spots left for 7 drivers. So we're going to do a little game where we make a case for each of the remaining 7 and why they can find themselves into the Championship 4. So let's start with the guy second in points, although he's only +9 to the good. Dustin, tell me why William Byron can find his way to Phoenix.
Well, I won't tell you why he can. I will tell you that he will find his way to Phoenix, and it'll be this weekend at Homestead-Miami Speedway. I think something that will be a key for this team is the high tire wear at Homestead. This is a tire that teams have used at both Darlington races and Charlotte Oval. And in those races, William Byron has had 3 top 5 finishes this season, and including a win at Darlington earlier this season. So I think this race sets up perfectly well for William Byron to join his teammate Kyle Larson at Phoenix and racing for a championship. I think he does it by getting the win this weekend, and that would add to his total, give him 7 wins on the season. So, the lock of the week, William Byron to Phoenix.
All right. Next up, Martin Truex Jr. Parker. The big question, I think, is which number 19 is going to show up in the next 2 weeks?
That is a great question, and I don't have as many wonderful scientific things to back it up like Dustin did there, the 24, but I can tell you this. The bull case for the 19 car was that last run at Las Vegas, possibly the best run they've had in the playoffs. He found himself getting his first top 15 of the year and driving into the top 10. That's the 19 car we have known for the better part of, 7 months of this year until we got to the playoffs. If they find that kind of form, that kind of speed, and they bring that to Homestead-Miami and Martinsville, and of course, knowing how good he is at Martinsville, I think, that's a case to say that Martin Truex Jr. and that 19 team will go on into the Championship 4. If they find themselves that other sort of 19 team that we've seen, that's my bear case. They're not making it. So I know we were supposed to give you only good reasons, but I had to put that out there.
All right, Parker, we'll stick with you for his teammate, Denny Hamlin. Denny was the one making waves in the first round. I don't know that we saw the same strength and ruffling of feathers in the second round. What do you make for his case to get to the Championship 4?
Well, first of all, he's Denny freaking Hamlin. And I think this 11 team is probably the top race team in all of NASCAR right now in a lot of ways. From top to bottom, they just execute at such a high level. I have such a respect for this race team and what I see them talk about and what they sort of look at and how they think about the sport differently throughout everything they do, basically. So to me, I pinned Denny Hamlin back in February as my champion, and I've said it's Denny Hamlin's year until it isn't, because it's always going to be his year, because he always finds a way to be in this position, to be in the conversation for a championship. I believe, though, this is the year that they get it done. For whatever reason, I just seem to rise up when they need to. I think this weekend could be a quieter weekend for them, but that doesn't worry me knowing they have Martinsville coming up next. I think the 11 team definitely finds himself going for a championship at Phoenix.
Okay, it sounds like we got Parker's actual champion pick, so we'll see what Denny's able to do and if he makes it to the Championship 4 and then what he does with that. You look at Christopher Bell, Dustin, and despite his great performance at Vegas, finds himself below the cut line, although if the team shows up like they did last year in this round, which means a walk-off win at Martinsville, they could again find themselves in the Championship 4. What's your case that he can get his way to Phoenix?
I don't think they're going to need a walk-off win at Martinsville, but certainly they're in a better points position. I think Christopher Bell is a really interesting case, though. And, he talked after the race and just about how he felt like Las Vegas was that moment to get that golden ticket and just missed out on it in finishing second to Kyle Larson last week. And I think he says, look, he views each of these races in this round as must-win situations, even though he's so close in the points. So I think he's got the right mindset in that, you can't let up at all in this round. So I think that's a good thing. But at Homestead for this weekend, it's a track that he admits is not one of his best. He's had ups and downs here. So this may not be the week. He may have to rely on Martinsville. But I think with the point situation, he'll be a lot closer, a lot better situation that if he doesn't secure a spot this weekend at Homestead, he can certainly put himself in great position to do so at Martinsville, and maybe doesn't need to have to win like he did last year to make it to the championship and return for the second year in a row.
All right. I know this style racetrack, meaning Homestead Miami, is Tyler Reddick's strength running the wall. But after last weekend, Parker, at Las Vegas, I'm not convinced. So tell me why I should think that Tyler Reddick is going to have a great showing and find himself into the championship four.
Well, you pointed it out, and it's a teal, I guess, sort of light bluish sort of thing at the top of the Homestead Miami Speedway, and that is the wall, as you see him running there. He is one of the best at it. So good that as I'm preparing for my Xfinity race this coming Saturday, I've been watching his championship wins that he had here a couple years ago and just how he ran the wall, what he does so well. And what it takes to run the wall is commitment on the entry of the corner, and he just has a feel for it. Is this the place, though, as popular convention is going to say, that he's going to find himself vaulting into the championship four? I don't foresee that, but what I do foresee is if they can have a strong day, meaning large amount of stage points in both stages and a strong finish, that can put them in a position to capitalize at Martinsville. Do I think this race, though, is like an all or nothing? They have to win. This is going to be their last shot. No, I don't think so. I think they can use what makes him so good at this racetrack to their advantage. If they can bring the cars that we've seen out of them in the past and allow him to run that wall with confidence, that puts them in a position going to Martinsville where they just need to simply have a day, maybe a little bit better than some of the competitors, and they'll find themselves fighting for a championship. But it definitely means this weekend is incredibly important for the 45.
Right. No pressure on the 45 team. Well, the win at Talladega got Ryan Blaney into this round. Dustin, what gets Blaney into the championship round?
I think it's going to be a challenge. And look, obviously a big help by having that disqualification rescinded instead of going into the last two races, a must-win situation. He can make it through points, but he's going to need some help. And I think that's the key for Ryan Blaney is who above him makes mistakes. He does not have the best record at Homestead. I think he just has to kind of get through this weekend and put himself in a better position for Martinsville, and maybe he can make it through Martinsville. But I think this is a challenging track. This has been, the mile and a half have not been the best, even though for Fords, even though Blaney does have that win in the Coca-Cola 600 this year. So I think this is about managing Homestead to put yourself in as good a position as possible for Martinsville. And then I think he's got a shot, but I think it's going to be a challenge.
All right, Dustin, we're going to stick with you. Chris Buescher, he earned no stage points at Las Vegas, finds himself minus 23. Is his path to Phoenix clear? Is it a points race for him, or does he have to just go out and outright win a race in the next two rounds or in the next two races to find himself in Phoenix?
Yeah, I think it's almost you almost say must-win situation, but I think that's what he's got to be. That's got to be the mindset for sure. And again, I think just like with Blaney, I think you've got to have mistakes and have others in front of you kind of tumble and come back to you so that you can have a better shot in terms of points. But I think this is going to be challenging for this team. They're a very good team. They've done some great things. He's had his career best season. So I wouldn't put it past him advancing to the championship four, but I think he's got the biggest hurdles to overcome. And I don't know if they've got the outright speed to do it on their own. I think they need some help to do it. But again, I don't know if anybody expected Chris Buescher to win 3 races before the season. So I don't necessarily put it past him, but it's not going to be easy for sure.
Thank you for watching NASCAR America Motormouths presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.